Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm Wes Decker. Great to have you along this week. Coming up on the show, we've got almost a little bit of everything this week. We've got volleyball before we're through, cross country too, and we'll have a visit from some Smithsburg football players. But first, our football guru, Bob Parsalitti, is here from the Herald Mail. Bob, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's start with South Hagerstown and Tuscarora. The Rebels snapping a two-game losing streak by handing Tuscarora its first setback of the season, 27-21. And to call it a big win for guys still learning on the job would be a gargantuan understatement, really.
Well, after the game, I asked Coach Toby Peer if this was the biggest win he's had at South, and he goes, "It's not about me, but I'll let you try to figure that out."
Well, that's pretty much saying it all
yeah.
without saying specifically or giving you a specific answer to the question. And clearly, yes, it's not about him, but it had to be a satisfying victory.
Well, it was. I think it was amazing how they did it, because Tuscarora has this reputation, I think, rolling off of that first game they played against Linganore and beating them, and they beat them by basically controlling the entire game, slowing down. It was only 12-10 final in that game. And I think South sort of did the same thing back to them in this game. They had two drives that I know for sure that were at least 6 minutes long. The first one of the game, where they went up 6-0, was a 6.5-minute drive. The last one that won the game was over 8 minutes. It was an 18-play drive. And they just basically kept the offense off the field for Tuscarora and took the game from them.
Yeah, an amazing display by a South Hagerstown team that, last week when we were kind of evaluating teams at the midway point of the season, we're like, is South starting to slide backwards a little bit? And plus, they've got tough games ahead against undefeated teams, and all of a sudden they go out and they find the resolve to knock one of those undefeated teams off.
Well, one of the things they did was didn't commit any mistakes. I mean, they didn't turn the ball over at all. And there was a lot of, let's say, low-risk plays. I mean, there were a lot of safe passes, things on the hash marks, curl-type things, and letting the receivers do their thing. They took away Tuscarora's rushing game completely. I had them only getting 12 yards on the ground, which controlled the middle. And when they did go to the pass, they bothered South a little bit because it was more of a fast-paced spread offense type thing. But South kind of figured out things to keep those guys corralled and made the plays when they had to pull this game out.
And sophomore quarterback Timmy Townsend is our Buffalo Wild Wings Player of the Week. He really managed the game very well and was very effective. 5 of 6 through the air, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also completed a very important 2-point conversion to Mike McCook after the go-ahead touchdown late in the game. And he also ran for a score. So what he did in that game to oversee that offense and to execute, and as you said, no mistakes at all, which turned out to be a big key in that game for South Hagerstown. While they took the ball away a couple of times from Tuscarora, goes a long way in getting them a very important win.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't see it in high school that often, but, we just talked about 2 drives in there in a 48-minute game, and they had the ball for over a quarter, in those 2 drives. So, I mean, just holding on to the ball and not making mistakes and getting the key first downs and move the sticks. Because they really didn't rip off like any huge run plays. I think the longest I can remember may be the 27-yard touchdown pass, but that's about it.
South now 5th in the 3A West playoff standings behind Tuscarora at the moment. And they get another undefeated opponent in Fort Hill coming up on Friday. And history has not exactly been on South's side against Fort Hill.
No, I think I have the series at 27-6 in favor of Fort Hill, and Fort Hill's won the last 6. The last time South won a game against Fort Hill was in 1980, I think, 3.
Wow. Yeah, it goes back. There's been a big gap in that series, but at the same time, it's been a while since South's gotten a win, but they'll go after one coming up on Friday, and they get that game at home where they played very well this season. They've won all 3 games there, and they've won 5 of their last 6 at School Stadium overall, dating back to last year. Speaking of home, South, a homecoming victory, and Boonesboro also coming away with a homecoming victory, 49-6 over FSK. The Warriors effectively showed off a different dimension to their offense. That was the passing game.
Yeah, they I think first 3 scores were on the pass. I think they had 4 for the game. And, in a game like this, I think you're trying to get, with the reputation or the track record of Fort Hill right now, they haven't won too many games over the last 8-10 years. I think the idea is to get out of the game quickly so that everybody can sit down so nobody gets hurt because you got important games down the road. So I think they established what they needed to do early and got some guys that normally don't get the big stats this week, and they rolled to this one.
Yeah, Boonesboro tightens its grip on that 4th playoff spot in 1A West with the win, and will go to 1-5 at North Hagerstown coming up on Friday. The North dropped to 1-5 because the Hubs fell to Williamsport 35-22. The Wildcats rang up 22 points in a 4-minute and 4-second stretch in the first quarter and held off the Never Say Die Hubs the rest of the way. North Hagerstown never gave up, but Williamsport established that working margin, which was kind of the opposite of the week before in the game that the Wildcats played against Boonesboro.
Well, but it was the same as it was the second or third week when they played Berkeley Springs and scored those 28 points in the second quarter.
That's the recipe to a win for them, no question. Jacob Ball completing 8 passes. Half of those went for touchdowns. Ben Stottlemyre with a pair of second-half TD runs for the Hubs, but not enough. No turnovers for Williamsport in that game, and now +6 in wins this season in turnover margin for Williamsport as the Wildcats go to 3-3. They'll play at 1-5 Frederick coming up this week. Seed defeated Hancock, kept the Panthers winless. 44-6 was the final. Hancock drops to 0-6 with the loss, but they may have a shot at a win coming up this week against Hundred.
Well, just going off of points scored, Hancock has scored 48 this year. Hundred has scored 22, and it all came in one game.
Well, we'll find out what happens coming up on Friday night. And speaking of points, Murray putting 48 on St. James to win 48-27 in a game defined by big plays. Murray just put up more of them and certainly more points to win by 3 touchdowns.
And they clustered them because they had a run of like 27 points in that game that really blew the game open.
And St. James finds out that quarterback Tyler Raymond will be lost for the rest of the season after having thumb surgery to correct the ligament damage there. And a quick turnaround for St. James. They'll play Thursday against Central Maryland Christian, a team that comes in at 5-2. Bob, that's it for football this week. Look forward to talking more about football and showing everybody what we've got again next week. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'll be back right after this with the aforementioned Smithsburg football players. They're here when you come back.
Champions are not merely born, they're forged in the crucible that is flag football. With equal parts turf, pigskin, and heart. That's why Buffalo Wild Wings donates to boys and girls clubs across the country to not only help thousands of kids learn about teamwork on and off the field, but to help them fulfill their destiny. To shred defensive lines, terrorize the secondary, and emerge bonded as true champions.
At Hagerstown Ford, we charge less, period. We're the largest Ford store in the tri-state area. #1 for only one reason. We charge less, period. Hagerstown Ford delivers. We'll bring your new ride to you and do the whole deal sitting at your kitchen table. Easy peasy. Get more for your trade, easy on-the-spot financing, and the lowest prices on the East Coast guaranteed. And if we can't beat their deal, we'll buy that car for you. Hagerstown Ford, we charge less, period.
Welcome back to the show. We continue now with more football, and I'm joined by 3 members of the Smithsburg Leopards who posted their first win of the season on Friday. Cameron Winslow, Colby Johnson, and Isaiah Warfield. Welcome to the show, guys, and thanks so much for being here. First of all, Cameron, congratulations on the win on Friday night, 42-6 over Clear Spring. All of a sudden, the offense breaks out. 45 points have been scored total in the first 5 games. You put up 42 on Friday night, keep the record perfect all time against Clear Spring. So what in the world happened on Friday night that was such a turnaround from the first 5 games of the season?
I think our offense was just started to click that game. Good blocking. We were all anxious just to get our first win, so we did.
Yeah, mission accomplished, no question about that. And how much of that win on Friday night was predicated on the fact that for once this season, you weren't playing from behind. Coach Lindsey had noted that in the first 5 games of the season, the other team scored first every single time. And I think the total so far this season, 44-10. You've been outscored in the first quarter. Didn't put up any points in the first quarter. The second quarter was the big one for you guys. But how key was that not to have to try to chase another team?
Yeah, no, Coach Lindsey talked about us getting down every game. And once we scored first Friday night, that definitely boosts our confidence and to keep going. So.
And Colby wind up scoring 3 touchdowns in the game. The team does 3 touchdowns and 21 total points in the second quarter alone. Quite a breakout for the offense. And as far as your role in that offense all season long, kind of been moved around a little bit. A lot's been asked of you at certain times. Just trying to find something that would click in your mind. What was it that worked on Friday night?
I think we finally had all of our personnel back in from injuries, and we finally got the offense, the right people in the backfield, make it click, and really got a good push on offense.
And when you say the right people in the backfield, one guy in particular had a huge game. I mean, this was a breakout game for your running back in Julius Washington, who all of a sudden goes from having 14 carries for 35 yards, no touchdowns through the first 5 games, to 9 carries, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns on Friday night. And when you talk about the roster and having to move guys around, it's a very thin roster this year, not a whole lot of depth there. So it's been difficult to kind of get people in the right places. But on Friday night, once things started going in the right direction, how much fun was it to play in that football game?
Everybody was having a good time. Everybody just wanted to get in and be a part of it. And all of our backs wanted to score.
And Isaiah, as far as your role on offense, moving guys out of the way for these running backs to get the yardage that they need to make the team successful. On Friday night, did you feel like everything was kind of gelling with the offensive line and your assignments and all the execution was just pretty much to perfection?
Yeah, everything was going well. Everything was together. We worked hard. We made our blocks. We did our job. It's the key. Everyone did their job, and that's what happens. You win.
And on the other side of the ball, as we said, Clear Spring not scoring in that first quarter, not scoring until pretty much late in that football game, and of course playing on the other side. You were in their backfield a lot. What was going on defensively? What type of defensive scheme was getting you into their backfield? How was that penetration coming about?
I was a defensive end. I just shoot for the B gap, go through, do my job, get the ball, make sure that it keeps it in, and that's all you do.
Yeah, well, you make it sound so simple. And obviously, when you get the win, that's good. I mean, tell me about the feeling of getting the win, because you guys have been working hard all through the preseason, all through scrimmages, through the first 5 games, nothing to show for it, and then all of a sudden a breakout victory.
Yeah, preseason and all the work we put in, it was a nice one to have, and all the work.
And Colby, this week it's homecoming. There are a few distractions that at times go with homecoming heading into a game like this. You'll get Brunswick coming up on Saturday afternoon. What's the mindset going into this game? Because the confidence level has to be brimming right now after getting a win. I'm sure you want to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, we definitely want to focus on the win before anything else. We want to go out and play our game and block out all the distractions.
And Cameron, defensively, the best performance of the season, holding Clear Spring to just over 100 yards of total offense, just 1 touchdown given up. What does it take when you have such a thin roster and guys are playing not only offensively and defensively, but a lot of guys also playing on special teams? I mean, what kind of shape do you have to be in to be successful?
Definitely great shape. That's why I know for me and a lot of other players, doing the work in the preseason definitely helps, and conditioning in practice and everyone being at practice will help you get in that shape to do that. So.
And can you give me a little sense of what this season's been like for you? Because last year, running back and on defense, there were a lot of interceptions to go around. You had your fair share. All of a sudden this year, you're a fullback. How has that role changed for you?
It's definitely been different, a little more. I mean, I do like it though. It's definitely been hard. At first, it was hard to get used to, but now I like it. So.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we like seeing the purple and gold win, and hopefully we'll be able to experience in person coming up on Saturday. Antietam Cable will be there, and best of luck to you guys, and have a happy homecoming. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back right after this. Got a couple of cross-country runners who were victorious in the city championships from St. Maria Goretti. They'll be here when you come back in just a moment.
Have you ever felt like you were up to your neck in alligators when trying to buy a used car? They promise you one thing, but don't deliver.
The payment is $100 more than you said. As is? If it's such a great car, why is it as is?
I'm going to High-Low Auto Sales. See you later, alligator.
When buying a car, don't try to wrestle with alligators.
Let the pros at Hilo worry about your credit. Hurry into Hilo Auto Sales, where you always get a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. Go to HiloAutoSales.com today.
Hamilton Nissan made buying my new Nissan Rogue an easy decision. Every car they sell automatically comes with their Hamilton for Life program. With it, I get free oil changes, free tire rotations, free car washes, and Hamilton's limited lifetime engine guarantee. And this mom didn't pay a dime for that peace of mind. It completely took the worrying out of car buying, and it's keeping my family on schedule, and we have a lot of places to go.
The Hamilton for Life program, getting you where you need to go.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. We continue now with cross country, and specifically St. Maria Goretti cross country. I'm joined by Cassie Lavin and William Jones. Welcome to the show, and congratulations on individual titles at the city championships last Wednesday. Cassie, let me start with you. It was a race where you and Erica Metz of South Hagerstown really locked up in what turned out to be a match race in a large way. You kind of set the pace in that race, and then coming into the track at Mike Callis Stadium, Erica Metz forges ahead of you, but you weren't going to give up. Your determination was really through the roof that particular day. Where did you find that resolve to dig down, come back, and beat her to the line?
I don't know. I mean, it's my senior year. My season hasn't been it's been pretty subpar. I don't know. I just thought that I could do it, and I really wanted it, and I don't know. I mean,
now, the time that you ran that day, now how does that stack up for you? You wound up winning by just over 2 seconds, but the time that you ran, was that a good time for you at 3 miles?
Yeah, I mean, that's my PR.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it doesn't get better than that, does it?
Yeah.
Now, how pleased were you with the win, though, to be able to dig down like that? I mean, that has to feel really good to be able to accomplish what you accomplished that day.
Yeah, it felt great. It was just it was really satisfying. I don't know.
20:22.5 was the time, and in winning that title, you become the first St. Maria Goretti girl to win an individual title in the 7 years of the Hagerstown City Championships. What does that mean to you?
It's really special. I've been with the program for 4 years now, and my coaches, they've just been with me the whole time. So I feel like for them, they were proud of me, and that made me proud also. So.
What does Wednesday's performance do for you now going forward? Because as you said, it hasn't been the season that perhaps you had envisioned. So does that give you a confidence boost now going forward with the Frank Kaiser Invitational coming up and also the IPSL Championships?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that race really set the tone for, I'm hoping, for the rest of the races. I think that once you get one good race under your belt, you're pretty much set for the rest of the season. I'm hoping that now I'm peaking finally, and I'll be good to go.
Well, we certainly hope so too. It was a thrill to watch you win that race. Very dramatic finish. And it was quite the opposite on the boys' side, William. There was no drama whatsoever. You and Brandon Gasaway of North Hagerstown went out very quickly. 5:04 for the opening mile. Is that fast by your standards?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was trying to hit 5:15 for each mile. So 5:04 was kind of on par for that. So yeah, it was kind of good to have him push me a little bit and kind of go against the clock there. It was good.
Now, you were shooting for sub 16 for the 3 miles. So when you see 5:04, what's that say to you in your mind? I mean, are you saying to yourself, man, I'm going too fast at this point, or I'm okay. I feel okay.
Well, yeah, I kind of base it on how I'm feeling at the time. So at the mile, I did feel pretty good, and I felt pretty confident for the other 2 miles.
So you wind up winning the race by about 53 seconds or so, I think, as it turned out. And what does it mean to you to win that title of city champion?
Well, I mean, it's a really great honor. Like Cassie said, we were both on the program for 4 years, and Coach Spindler he's been a great coach, and I like to kind of make him happy at points. So it was kind of good and very confidence boosting as well.
What would be the perfect ending for you to your high school career with some races remaining yet? I mean, what would all of that come down to for you?
Well, the perfect ending I feel like would be kind of my end point, which would be college, because I would really love to run in college and also have good academics. So kind of the combination of collegiate running and academics would be kind of my goal.
And relative to training and progress, where do you feel that you are right now? Because I know you're shooting for just after Thanksgiving, heading up to New York. I can see the smile on your face right there. November's Foot Locker Northeast Championships. Do you feel that you're on track right now for what you want to accomplish there?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't have any aches or pains, luckily. So I feel like I just got to keep training, keep working hard, and I'll get there.
And what would you like people to know about St. Maria Goretti's cross-country program and what it's done for you? Because obviously, you're one of the big standard bearers there. When people talk about Goretti cross-country, William Jones's name is very much attached there. So what could you say if you were a spokesperson for Goretti cross-country?
Well, I would really talk it up because it's a really great program. And Coach Mike Spindler, he's a great coach. And there's really not much more to the sport than just kind of getting out there and doing the work, and it's all kind of in yourself to push yourself and really want to strive for greatness. So I think we have a great program and it's a great environment.
Well, I think you're both great representatives of St. Maria Goretti cross country, and again, congratulations on the city championships and best of luck in all your endeavors going forward. And it was a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'll be back right after this. I've got representatives of the Smithsburg volleyball team here when you come back.
Tony's Pizza in Williamsport has had the same simple philosophy since 1985. Start with simple products. Sauce from the best Italian tomatoes. The best cheese and dough made fresh every day. Then mix those with a great atmosphere, and you'll have the best dining experience you can find. Tony's is known for their pasta dishes, subs, pizzas, and specialty items like their Nutella Dots and the famous Crazy Tony. Simply put, they want to give the best food they can give to their customers. So stop in today to Tony's Pizza in Williamsport.
Welcome back to the show. We continue now with volleyball, and I'm joined by 3 of the Smithsburg Leopards, a team that's off to an undefeated start to the season right now. Sydney Scott, Lauren Daniels, and Haley Bachtel. Welcome to the show, and let me start with you, Sydney. Fresh off a win over Williamsport. Last year it was a completely different story when you faced that team. It was kind of the same setup. Smithsburg came in undefeated. Williamsport came away with a surprising win. This year, Smithsburg is the team that a lot of people have said, it's the year to get Smithsburg. Nobody's gotten Smithsburg yet through 9 matches. What's working so well for this team so far this season?
I think this season our team has a lot more team chemistry. We've all played together for a while, so we're more comfortable with each other on the court, so we really help each other out. Even though we lost 2 big 6-foot middles, I think losing them kind of helped us come together more to focus on the little things.
Yeah, clearly the composition of the team is a little bit different this year, but the experience that you gained last year in playing with those players and the 5 seniors who graduated, can you put into words what that means and how that's translated into this season for you?
I think it kind of helped me learn from the seniors, like watching how they played on the court. So then this year I kind of took what I watched each of them do, like Megan and Elena and Lexi and all them hitting. It kind of helped me for this year, not only to step up as a player, but to also step up as a leader on the team because I saw how they led, so it just helped me lead too.
And Lauren, to have Sydney on the outside, most times on the opposite side from you, how has that helped your game this season and helped you step up?
Oh, it was great. Sydney and I, even during practice, we worked back and forth, always watching each other, always saying, hey, work on this, work on that. maybe adjust here, adjust there. So I think with Sydney and I working together is definitely a big help because we learn off of each other. It doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter the grade. If you can play, you can play, and Sydney can play. So we both can help each other in that aspect.
Is there any friendly competition there at all in terms of outdoing one another?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what's going to happen when there's two like decent, good outside hitters, you know. But it's always friendly. It's always good. We're on the same team, playing for the same school. We always want to represent the Berg. So.
Are you surprised at all about the success that the team has had to this point? I mean, with the record being 9-0.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think last year, knowing that we were losing 2 6-foot middles, it's like a kind of shock. Like, what are we going to do now? But we have worked so hard off season during the practice. I think that it's great how everyone has come together, and we have put up great blocks, great hits, and I think it's amazing.
And Haley, the experience that you bring in getting that first pass most times to the setter, this season being your senior year, you have to be a little excited about the potential of going out on top. Smithsburg certainly has to be one of the favorites once again in 1A to win a state championship. How do you kind of rein in your emotions a little bit, knowing that it is your final go-around, and yet there could be something big at the end of the line here?
Yeah. Well, my teammates, like, everything's just so exciting all the time, and before every game we get really pumped, like, in the locker room, and we're like, we all want to go out. Like, last year I remember before every game Rachel would say, like, send our seniors out with a bang, send our seniors out with a bang, and that's just always the mentality, and we always go into every game like it's our last one, and we always play our hearts out.
How much fun was the atmosphere and environment against Williamsport at home in that match with the blackout breast cancer and everything, and just the, just all the energy in the building?
It was undescribable. Dig Pink is always like our biggest game of the year, and the fact that it was against our biggest rival, and that last year we lost to them in their gym, and I felt like this year, since we had them at our biggest game of the season, it was kind of like revenge almost.
How much did you think about that going in?
It was really nerve-wracking. I was so nervous beforehand, but like I said, my teammates are always there to bring you back down.
Was that a big motivating factor for you, seeing Williamsport on the other side of the net, knowing what happened last year?
Definitely. Yeah. Last year was kind of, we don't want to talk about last year. It's a whole different situation. But this year we knew that we wanted to come back. We wanted to have our good hits. We wanted to play what we can play. We wanted to do the little things right. So we know that we can pull out with the win, and we did. So it's good.
How did you use what happened in last year's match against Williamsport to better yourself the rest of last season and go on to win a state championship?
Well, I think with that game, we saw how they played. We saw how they operated. They have great hitters. You see Kiara, you see Devin. They have great hitters, and we knew that we had to adjust. And I think we took that loss as a means of growth. We took it this year to make sure our defense needs to be one step faster. Our hits, another swing needs to be another thing faster, you know what I mean? So that's how we used it.
Is there a sense of pride, Sydney, in potentially finishing the season undefeated? Do you look at that 0 in the loss column and say, we want to keep it that way?
I think definitely when you see that 0 in the loss column, you'd think, wow, like if we can just make it 1 game farther, 5 games farther, just make it to the end of the season. And then definitely after you play a team like Williamsport and see that 0 still there, we have a chance then to be undefeated this season. I think that's very exciting.
And I asked all of you before we even went on about playing those intra-county games. Still have a Clear Spring team that has only 1 loss so far coming up on Thursday, and then 2 Thursdays away, of course, North Hagerstown still to come. How do you prepare for those games mentally, perhaps a little bit different than you do for the other ones?
I mean, I think we get really excited for those games knowing that it's going to be strong competition. So we get very pumped for those games, and we kind of talk in the locker room about staying comfortable with each other, play within the match. Like that's what Coach always tells us. Don't get too excited because it's a big team. You still want to focus on the little things. And I think when we keep the energy high in those games, it just helps us come together and just play our own game.
Yeah, I just think from seeing Smithsburg against Williamsport, just such a steady team, and looks like you're in great shape, potentially on the road to something big here. Don't want to, throw anything out there. It's going to be too over the top, but at the same time, hey, congratulations on what you've accomplished so far this season, and best of luck going forward, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Next week on the show, a little of everything, including week number 7's football and much, much more. Until then, have yourselves a great one, and I will see you on the inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, You gotta get up in the streets.